Big Brother Morgan gets called out after friend-zoning Vince. The latest season of Big Brother has delivered plenty of drama, unexpected alliances, and shifting relationships, but one storyline has especially caught the attention of fans: Morgan and Vince's complicated connection. What began as a seemingly lighthearted friendship inside the house has quickly turned into a topic of heated discussion among viewers, especially after Morgan openly friend-zoned Vince, leaving fans both shocked and divided. The moment has now become one of the most talked-about developments this season, and the fallout continues to ripple across the Big Brother fanbase. From whispers in the house to debates online, the friend-zone drama has added a new layer of tension to an already unpredictable game. The spark that started it all. From the early weeks of the competition, Vince and Morgan appeared to share a close bond. Their connection wasn't necessarily romantic at first, but fans noticed how naturally the two gravitated toward each other. They laughed together during competitions, exchanged inside jokes, and often spent long stretches of downtime in each other's company. Vince, with his easygoing charm and sense of humor, seemed smitten with Morgan from the start. Meanwhile, Morgan appreciated Vince's loyalty and his ability to keep her spirits up in a high-pressure environment. Their friendship became a comforting anchor in a game defined by paranoia and betrayal. But while Vince appeared to hope for something more, Morgan remained firmly in the just friends camp. For weeks, the tension between what Vince wanted and what Morgan made clear slowly built until it finally came to a head. The friend-zone moment. The turning point arrived during a late-night conversation when several house guests were winding down after a grueling competition. Vince, perhaps feeling emboldened by the moment, hinted that he had deeper feelings for Morgan. The exchange wasn't overtly dramatic, no confessions of undying love or grand gestures, but it was enough for Morgan to address the subject directly. In her calm yet decisive way, Morgan told Vince that she valued him as a friend, but didn't see him in a romantic light. Her phrasing was kind but firm, leaving little room for misinterpretation. The word friend became the focal point of the conversation, and before long, viewers were buzzing about Morgan officially placing Vince in the dreaded friend zone. Vince's reaction. To his credit, Vince handled the moment with grace, at least on the surface. He nodded, smiled, and assured Morgan that he respected her honesty. But fans who closely watch body language noticed a shift in his demeanor afterward. He seemed quieter in group settings, less energetic during conversations with Morgan, and noticeably reflective during diary room sessions. Whether or not Vince was genuinely heartbroken remains up for debate, but the shift was significant enough to fuel speculation that the moment had altered the dynamic of his game. House guests' observations. Inside the house, other contestants weren't blind to the situation. Several players had already joked about Vince's obvious affection for Morgan, and some even predicted that it would eventually become a distraction for his gameplay. After the friend-zone moment, whispers spread. Some house guests saw it as an opportunity, believing Vince might now play with more emotion than strategy. Others admired Morgan for being direct and not leading him on. At least one contestant suggested that Morgan's timing was strategic, implying that shutting down Vince's feelings ensured that their alliance, or whatever bond they had, wouldn't jeopardize her standing with other house guests. Fan reactions. If the house was buzzing, the fanbase was practically on fire. Social media platforms exploded with reactions to the scene. Some viewers applauded Morgan for her honesty, praising her for drawing clear boundaries in a respectful way. Good for her, one fan wrote. She doesn't owe him anything beyond friendship, and she handled it with class. Others, however, expressed sympathy for Vince, arguing that Morgan could have let him down more gently or at least considered the effect it might have on his emotions during such a high-stakes competition. Poor Vince, another fan posted. You can tell he really liked her. That must have been rough to hear in front of everyone. The debate highlighted how invested audiences have become in the personal relationships that unfold on reality television, often treating them with the same intensity as real-world dynamics. The friend-zone debate. The phrase friend zone itself sparked its own discussion. Some fans criticized the term, arguing that friendship is valuable and should not be seen as a consolation prize. They pointed out that Morgan never led Vince on and was clear about her feelings. Others embrace the term playfully, using it to describe the awkwardness that arises when one person's romantic hopes aren't reciprocated. Memes and jokes quickly circulated, with some fans humorously dubbing Vince the mayor of the friend zone. The cultural debate mirrored larger conversations outside the Big Brother house about relationships, boundaries, and the way people interpret rejection. Impact on Morgan's game. Strategically, the move may benefit Morgan. By clarifying her stance with Vince, she avoided potential drama that could have painted her as manipulative or deceptive. In a game where perception often matters as much as actual alliances, Morgan's decision to address the situation openly could strengthen her reputation as straightforward and trustworthy. On the other hand, some viewers worry that Vince may distance himself from her, weakening a bond that had previously been a source of support. If he shifts his loyalty elsewhere, it could alter the balance of power in the house. Vince's next moves. The big question now is how Vince will proceed. Will he remain loyal to Morgan as a friend and ally, or will the sting of rejection push him to forge new partnerships? Early signs suggest that Vince is weighing his options carefully. While he hasn't publicly voiced resentment, his recent interactions with other house guests hint that he may be considering a shift in strategy. Whether this pivot is motivated by gameplay, emotion, or a combination of both remains to be seen. The emotional toll of the game. The Morgan-Vince situation also highlights a broader theme of Big Brother, the emotional toll of living in a confined space with strangers for weeks on end. Bonds form quickly, emotions intensify, and small gestures can carry outsized weight. For Vince, confessing his feelings was likely a risk amplified by the unique pressures of the house. For Morgan, responding honestly required balancing personal boundaries with the knowledge that millions of viewers were watching. Moments like these remind fans that behind the competitions and strategy sessions are real people navigating complex emotions under extraordinary circumstances. Comparisons to past seasons. This isn't the first time a friend zone storyline has played out on Big Brother. Previous seasons have featured contestants who developed crushes or unrequited attachments, often with dramatic consequences for their games. Some fans have drawn parallels between Morgan and Vince's dynamic and other memorable pairs from the show's history. In many cases, the fallout either strengthened one contestant's resolve or completely derailed their strategy.